Hey everybody, you're listening to the Combo Wombo podcast. I'm Chip. Monking with me as always is the Mr. Gimpy.
What's going on, Chip? How's it going, brother?
What's happening, man? Just living. Up
Life,
here,
man.
Waking up, getting the sun in me. Glorious outside. I don't know, man. I've been messed up. I was sick last week. I don't know. We had like
How you feeling, man? You were kind of messing with a cold the week before, so I feel like it kind of just hit you.
There's like a new rattle in my throat, and I'm like, is this a thing now? Is this just going to be me? I'm like, this is how it happens. Like, you always meet people like, a raspy voice and stuff, and you're like, oh, it just must be, maybe they're into smoking or something, and now they got like a yoked out voice. And then you're like, did it happen gradually, or was it all at once? And like, I don't know, like this last week, I felt like that like raspiness where I'm like, is this just gonna be me? Am I just gonna talk like this now? Is it?
It might be, dude. Yeah. You might be an old cowboy. You don't know it.
Yeah, but I just maybe I'm gonna have to pick up like a trendy smoking habit or something, dude. Figure out what's going on.
I'm looking forward to it for you, dude. It suits you. Yeah. It suits you.
I already got a cowboy hat, dude.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, man.
I'll get my haircut today, so it's like, it's getting long. Haven't gone out and cut it in a while, so I think that's the plan. But yeah, man, I'm glad you're feeling better because, like I said, the week before you got sick, you were on the Discord just chilling and playing games with the boys, and you sounded terrible. Yeah. But like you were still playing, and I'm like, okay, maybe you're just getting over it. And then when you messaged me saying I'm dead, I was like, yeah, I can see that. Like I wasn't surprised, I don't
know. It's been like a weird winter into summer here because it's like so nice. So like the seasonal allergies have kicked on. Yeah. But the air is like still dry from the winter. Yeah. And so it's like big, like messing with my throat. In a weird way. So now I've been like sipping tea, dude. I got my one coworker is like, they got like tea for your throat, and I was like,
throat coat?
I bought a bunch of that shit when I was like sick that one week, but I never used it because I was like, this is whatever. It's more sinus. And then yesterday I was just sipping that, but I don't know, put me in the coffin, dude. It's just too relaxing, too soothing, and I was like, man, I kind of want to just take a nap now. Kind of wasted a lot of yesterday just chilling and watching YouTube movies. Dude. Try to watch was it Iron Claw?
Oh yeah, that's out on for streaming now, isn't it?
I think so.
I have to check that out with Zac Efron and that dude from The Bear and Shameless. Yeah,
people were saying it's good and stuff.
Yeah,
I didn't end up watching it. I started and I was like, man, it's kind of slow. Pace.
Oh, really? Oh,
for me, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, you know me, dude. I got no focus anymore, dude. It's
gotcha.
It is like I want something I could just like throw on in the background or listen to. Like the thing that demands your attention. It's really well shot.
That's all right.
Great actors, like you're saying.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, I kind of want to just sit down and watch this like a movie.
Yeah. I rewatched Casino the other day because I was just working, and I'm like, I haven't watched I feel like a long form like gangster epic, so I watched Casino, Joe Pesci classic, So.
Yeah, a couple of wise guys.
Hell yeah. Still holds
Remember
up,
Joe
dude.
Pesci's rap career?
No,
it's from his song, dude. I'm tuning you up with a couple of wise guys. Yeah, dude, he had like a rap album, dude.
I'll have to look this up.
1980s, dude. Everyone was
a rapper.
Everyone was on cocaine.
I feel like this is a meme thing that you're just misinterpreting as a full rap album, but
I don't know, man. Don't hold me to it, but there's probably a Joe Pesci rap or two out there, dude.
All right.
Maybe it's featured or something.
Speaking of Joe Pesci raps, let's give a shout out to the Stinger, dude. Last match today at the time of recording.
Sting. Yeah.
We talk about, we're both wrestling fans. We talk about it a little bit on the pod. It's a video game podcast for sure, but we talk about making games, but a little bit of our personalities are here too. Were you a fan of Sting growing up?
He was cool. I don't know. It was too much with the. It was already kind of too late in that whole era. Monday Night War.
Okay.
No, I mean for Sting, dude. Like it was like. Everybody was like a member of NWO at the time. They had like the Wolfpack was just like breaking out from that. And then like his whole thing was like, I'm going to fight against the NWO. And then he's like, psych, now I'm joining. And it's like, you guys have like almost 100 members now of NWO.
They fucked up by keeping it going. Sting should have been the one to end the NWO personally.
I don't even know if you need to end it, but like not everybody needs to be part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like like, who do you guys fight against when it's like all the top people are part of this thing, dude? It's like,
yeah,
I don't know. It just became like too much of a cash cow for them. So they're like, everybody needs like their NWO merch. We can just do a quick. I was just listening to somebody talk about like Matt and Jeff Hardy, and they're like, man, why do you guys change up your look so much? And they're like, for the video games and action figure rights, dude, we can get a little bit more money to change up our look all the time.
That's true.
They feel like that with the NWO, where they're like, how can we make a little bit more money for everybody? They join the NWO, and we just have that palette swap in the new, WCW versus NWO. Talk about like the worst pay-per-view too of all time, dude. Jeez.
True.
You had like the finger poke of death come out of there, dude. Like, I don't know, man.
Well, WCW sucked overall. Let's be honest, but
they had so many good wrestlers though. It's just unfortunate. It's like bad creative decisions.
Yeah, definitely, it's the Vince Russo effect. But like the early years of, and I say early years, like I've been watching the whole time, but from what I remember, the movie The Crow came out, and Sting, put his mask, like his face paint like the Crow, and he had the black coat.
As was the style of the time.
The style at the time, yeah. And I thought it was cool as fuck as a kid. I loved the Crow movie. Loved that he had his signature as a baseball bat. He's coming out. He's like the Undertaker and coming out of like darkness, and it was cool. For that alone, I appreciate him. And then when I was obviously more of a WWE deaf at the time kid. I mean, I love Stone Cold, The Rock, but
Mankind.
Definitely have some good memories of the Stinger. Never watched TNA. I know about the Joker Sting run that people love, and I wasn't old enough to know Surfer Sting, but
I thought like Christian Cage would have been his last match, because like he was also like, he was basically the Darby Allin in his TNA days, where like Sting brought on him as like his protege and was like helping him out, and then they had like a betrayal and then reunited for a little bit, and there's gold belts involved, and you think like his last match would be like, let me one last time with the old timer, but they're just getting the Young Bucks over.
I didn't think I'd care about his last match, but like the closer it got, the more nostalgia hit me. And I'm like,
got you in the feels.
Good for like Undertaker's last match, right? I'm like I haven't watched wrestling. Like at that time, I haven't watched wrestling in a while, and I'm like, damn, I kind of want to see this. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's one of those things where, you grew up with this person, you kind of want to see how they go out. Like when LeBron inevitably retires in the next couple of years here, I'm going to watch that match.
It definitely felt like Sting wanted like a good final run like 15 years ago, like in WWE. We got like hurt, and then they also like didn't book him very well.
No. He 100%, his last match 100% should have been the Undertaker versus Sting.
Yeah.
Undertaker
you could say they did the same thing with like DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, where he's like he should have been People's Champ versus People Champ, like him versus
that would have been amazing. Yeah, that would have been amazing.
And it just never happened. They're just like, instead we're going to make him like a weird psycho stalker, like the Undertaker's wife, and it's like, all right, that's weird. And then they made him like super happy, motivational speaker, dude. Like
I loved DDP as a kid too. The fucking diamond symbols, going bang, it was cool as fuck. And then his theme song was fucking Nirvana, just like slightly tweaked. You know what I mean?
As really close as possible.
Yeah. Oh man, DDP was dope as fuck.
Yeah, it's like WWE hated anything that they didn't create. It's like any of the guys who came over from WCW, they seem to just bury.
Which is unfortunate, because there's some cool people came up.
Yeah,
I mean, some people got out of it, like like the name that should not be mentioned, Chris Benoit, obviously had Eddie Guerrero, obviously, Ray. Like you can't. Some people you can't hold down. You know what I mean? Like you're not gonna hold Rey Mysterio down. Dude's too cool. Too cool.
Booker T,
cool mask. Booker T. Hell yeah. Yep.
Five time.
Hell yeah. But
five time.
Yeah, it's not getting completely off the rails. If anyone here is a wrestling fan, and
I think it's some of our earlier pods we were talking about, like the old wrestling games, dude.
Yeah. And John Stinger for what he is, man. 64, yeah, right. 60, the N64 wrestling games still goats, dude. No Mercy, WCW versus NWO, goats. So rest in peace there. Going back to gaming, man. I'll start because I know you've been grinding. You've been.
I've been doing nothing. Dude. I've been chilling, dude.
And but the boys for the Discord we typically hang out in with our friends. We used to have like gaming nights on Thursdays. Where everyone would just download a game, we'd get
Thursday night throwdowns.
Then the Discord got like really big for a while, and it was really hard to find a game for everyone to join. But in that same
we would
vein,
do like poker tournaments and chess tournaments and stuff.
Yep.
We're figuring out
we
ways
did
around
Tetris
it.
one day too, and you found a bunch of like free games that we can play. And But in that vein, I'm putting the finishing touches on my firefight map for Halo Infinite.
Oh, snaps!
So I have the 2 deathmatch maps and then the firefight map. So as I
Probably
said, I was
seems like
working
Halo is ready. It feels like they've reached like version 1.0 finally.
Yeah, they did,
and they'd be ready to launch. Like
3 years too late.
Yeah, if it launched in this state, dude, like people would be like, "Yeah, Halo, finally."
Banger. Yep.
Yeah.
It's too bad, but hopefully the next shot at it, which is going to be honestly their last attempt, I feel.
I don't know, man. They said this was the next 10 years of Halo. Was
They're
Halo
already
backpedaling.
They're already working on the next iteration.
Said like co-op split screen would be in launch day one. Then they're like, we're canceling that feature. It's like what you promised 8 years ago before you even started.
So the person who saved Halo MCC is now in charge of 343 Studios.
All right, for now, dude.
We have someone capable, and the Bonnie Ross left, so that's probably a bigger thing. So
is this just like their horrible hiring business practices where they like subcontract out all the work? Because like you see this with like
well, it's that plus the horrible leadership of people. They're led by people who don't like Halo. Yeah, like, how are you going to lead the thing if you don't like the property? Yeah. So now we have a person who's a legacy fan of Halo, clearly showed love for it, and he's the one who's righting the ship for Infinite. So,
I've heard this too, where it's like it's been so long that the people who hate Halo have taken over that it's like the game's almost like diverge, where it's like you have like the OG Halo fans, and then like the people who actually enjoy like the new Halo that they're putting out. So it's like, how do you make both people happy? And it's like you really can't now.
Yeah, I think Infinite's
you got the Call of Halo people. Yeah, it's getting closer.
Yeah, but with that, and Forge being complete, like I said, I was working on a campaign level, and the AI stuff that I want to do, I just am not knowledgeable enough right now to figure it out. So I'm going to put that on the back burner right now. But firefight map, I'm putting the finishing touches on, so I can tell you a little bit about it right now. So storyline-wise, you're on a downed UNSC ship. I'm having you on a broken down ship, like in the middle of like a river with a cliff face to like behind you that you're fighting on, and there's going to be a building to the side here where you can kind of go for cover, and you're just going to survive against the Covenant, coming down. My main focus is I wanted it to have like a classic feel, so very little brutes will spawn until like the really like you're getting super deep into it, but elites, hunters, grunts, jackals, sniper jackals, stuff like that. And I have this nice cliff face for the sniper jackals to come on, and
just so, like the Lion King.
Yeah. There's some stuff with like teleporters and stuff that I can do. Like, you can make these firefight levels really expansive if you want. But I tried to keep the scale short because I was like that like Black Hawk Down kind of feeling is what I want.
Just crash landed and now you gotta scramble.
Yeah. So I'm closing off the level a bit now. I'm just making sure that some of the AI pathing isn't going out of the map. You know what I mean? So but that's done. The deathmatch maps, I'm just gonna go as is. Because they're structurally done. I'm not gonna worry about too much about the spawns. We'll play. I can tweak obviously. So I'm hoping just maybe if not this Thursday, next, because I think people are pretty I think. Our buddy Crab's out of town this week. Shout out Crab. I think
got business.
Yeah. So in the next couple, then once the boys play it, I'll give out the codes and people can download it. Do whatever. So yeah, excited for that. The reason why I focused on Halo this week instead of like the Game Maker game is honestly I read an article where people were about Infinite, and it just made me want to go back to it. So
you got the little heat, a little passion on it. You're like, okay, knock this out.
Exactly. And I was talking to shout out Daniel-san in the Discord as well. He's like, remember Thursday night game nights? I'm like, I do remember.
Yeah.
I figure if I could contribute something to it, I will. But yeah, man, what have you been up to?
I don't know if I talked about this here, but like I got a team now. Like I said, I was
Yes.
digging around the dinges of Reddit at one point to look for like a squad of people. So yeah, I'm making like a 2.5D like beat 'em up platformer game with them.
Okay.
And I'm responsible for level design, which is kind of like all I wanted to do. Like I said, like I was like, man, you know what? I just kind of enjoy like level design, game design, like 3D art and modeling.
Yeah.
And I was like, I haven't really been focused on any of that shit because like when you have to make a game, like a lot of it's just like systems and programming.
Yep.
And yeah, it's kind of like the last little bit is like just the enjoyment part for me. And then it's also like if you're one person too, you have to like drop down the scope incredibly for like what you're able to do like in a reasonable amount of time. So I was like, man, in like 3-4 months are like my new sprint objectives. So for this, like the team, we're giving ourselves to like August to do like 5 levels, and it's everyone's just kind of doing things in their own like free time as like a hobby level, which is perfect. That's what I've been looking for.
Okay.
I feel a little bad because like I don't have all the responsibilities of other adults, so I'm like just like fucking destroying things on the queue, and I'm already like
it's
2
not your fault,
levels.
it's just life, man.
Yeah, I'm already like 2 levels deep. I got like a 3rd level blocked out. I'm pretty happy with. I need to like keep tightening it up, but you know, and it's kind of like the first real big expansive level. So it'll be like, you know, one more like that, and then the other 2 are kind of like scripted areas where it's like the big boss fight, and then like almost like a Battletoads style thing where you're like running around like on moving platforms fighting shit that's like coming at you. And yeah, so I don't know, I've just been doing that, and then like aside from that, I've been trying to get like level design practice in every day. So I've just been doing like letters of the alphabet. I've been knocking those out in Trench Broom, just making block shaped letters and throwing that into Unreal
inside of it.
Yeah, just doing like quick rooms. You know, I'm not gonna. I think like because I watched like a few people attempt like I'm gonna make a level a day, and then like they get to like 3 to 4 days and they're like I'm done, or they quit, or they never make like another YouTube video again because that shit will burn you out like trying to make like a whole level. But it's like, you know what? The problem is like scope creep. It's too vague, too big. You know, it's like I'm gonna make a level for what? Why? Like, what's the objective? So I was like, all right, I have like an interactions kit that I got for free on Unreal, and then I'll just do a room, and then I'll just do it like letters of the alphabet because there's a lot of them, and then like, you know, and you're like, oh, isn't there, you know, not enough letters to make it a month? And it's like, yeah, there's other alphabets. You know, I'll just start on a different alphabet.
Well, I mean, you did it in the month of February, so you could just do the, you know.
Yeah.
Like if you do all of them, that's basically the whole month, you know.
Yeah.
A couple days, especially with leap year, but yeah.
Yeah, I started like a week or 2 ago. Like, I don't know, it was like like an arbitrary deadline.
I think the alphabet's a good one, personally.
Yeah. And then it's, you know, after maybe I finish the English one, I'll move over to like, you know, Japanese characters or Russian or, you know, something else.
Sure.
So there's all kinds of alphabets and characters out there, and you know, you just find them in block format and do that. It's been fun. I've been getting better. I've been improving. I've been watching like different level design theory videos again. People that enjoy like Stevie Lee. There's another guy who worked at like Ubisoft and like Far Cry and stuff, where like big open spaces.
Did he work on the Rayman Origin? Or no, he was the okay.
Stevie Lee? No, he's Dishonored and Dishonored 2, and then he did like some Half-Life stuff. I think he worked on some other stuff too. But
okay, gotcha.
Gotcha. You know, I've been watching like a couple of GDC talks as well, but
so let me
stuff I've seen before.
Let me ask you this: so I haven't seen you do a 2.5D style game.
Did you?
Not in a while. I think way back in the day, maybe we were doing something like that. But how has that? And it's a beat 'em up platformer. So I'm guessing you don't have like as much movement as like a typical platformer. How has that impacted your level design, or like you probably can't share much, but
I mean, you know, with young people, I can show you some stuff. Probably
just the 2D plane. How has that impacted your usual design style?
I try to like, I don't know. It's just a different set of challenges, and then like understanding like what the gimmicks are, because there's like different like things you can do, different like, you know, tool sets for the character, different. So the first thing I did was just like, they had like a, you know, level design document like on a Google Drive, This guy has like a server set up where we're pulling down like Git pulls and stuff for each other. And
Okay.
but yeah, so like day one, I just kind of like sat down and I turned it from 2.5D into like completely 2D, and then from a grid top down. So I turned it into like a chessboard. So I was like, all right, so our play space is basically like an 8x6 grid. And then I was like, all right, I can jump 3 squares this way. I can like do a move dash that's like 1.2.
Sure.
You know, you're attacking a move, like you attack one space in front of you, then move one space in front. So then I started like just blocking things out like that. So like the first thing you want to give yourself is as many constraints as possible, like when you're level designing.
Yep.
Like I said, like you don't want things too big, too vague. Like, and then the other thing I tried to do is like tighten up shit. So like I'll make like a big level. I'll just like draw out like the rough block shapes of everything, and then I'll just like run through it with the like a stopwatch open. And I'll be like, how long does it take to move through? And for like these levels, I want them to be like 3 to 5 minutes at the most. But like the first couple, only like a minute or two. Like
Sure.
I just want people in, get good wins, feel good, learn some of the basic movements, be introduced to like some of the mechanics, some of the enemies.
Are
and then,
you
like,
responsible for enemy placement, or is that someone else?
I've been doing it. I don't know if there's anybody else responsible. Like, so I've just been. We don't even have enemies yet, right? That's how early on this still is. Like, this is like
Okay.
a month deep. Like, we just have like some basic systems, camera, character, some movement, and even like the camera's kind of shit still, and the character's still really rough, you know. But like, you know, it's people just working as a hobby in like their spare time. So it's like,
Yep.
and like I don't know, like. Also, like when things are early on, like you have to use your imagination more. You have to believe in the process. It's really like it's really that meme of like just believe in the process. Okay, I know this looks like shit right now. Like the guy was like showing me like the character select screen, and like the skeletons weren't in yet, so it's just like a mushed down like pile of like mesh. And he's like, I haven't fixed this yet. I was like, yeah, man, it's fine, dude. Like, I believe in the process. Like, it's but a thing to get that working. So yeah, with so many things still not buckled down, like I just created like very loose constraints on myself, and then I just left like a space open like in the game design document for that. I made like a quick tutorial level, and like in those you don't really have to do anything because like all that stuff's already in the game.
Yeah.
And then like the next stage I just kind of introduced like a few like horizontal and vertical movement, like instead of just moving left to right, I was like, what if you can move up and down? And like we already have like
so ladders.
yeah, well, we have like moving platforms with like switches and stuff already in the game for that. So I was like, all right, I'll just move around there, and then add some like enemies which we don't have. So I just put like red, cylinders to represent like where they would be ideally.
Sure.
And then I put like 3 or 4 combat encounters in there, and then added some of the early traps into that level. And then for the next level after that, this is the one I've been working on where it's like it's way fucking bigger. And so.
Mm.
This I just drew up on like a 2D piece of paper, and then even before that, I was like, all right, for those first 2 levels, I just kind of winged it. I fucking flew by the seat of my pants. I pantsered it, dude.
Sure.
But I was like, you know what? It's kind of rude of me to just do that, especially like in a team, and then I'm not getting any feedback from anybody else yet. You're kind of your own boss as well. So like I said, I looked at like I think Stevie Lee has this video where he's like, watch me design a level, and it's like. Maybe it's like a tongue-in-cheek video where it's like speed level design, and it's just him writing things down on a piece of paper. He's like, the objectives, like the beats, the action. Like this is how like you actually do like speed level design. And I was like, fuck, that's good. And I was like reading a book on level design as well that that dude from who works at like Far Cry and shit wrote, and it's called like The Art of Level Design or something. I don't know. So I was reading his book. And like around like page like 130 or 140, like he also has like a similar breakdown. And so I took like both of those and mashed them up, and then I wrote out like the first 2 levels, like what I did, and then I took that shit, dude. I took what we have for story beats, bro. Yeah. And then I threw that shit into ChatGTP, and I was like, yo, write me out these other other levels based on like these first 2 like templates. And it was like, yeah, this is about good. I adjust a little bit. Should do a little editing.
Sure.
But I spent like 2.5 hours, and if I'd written out all of them, it probably would have taken me like 8 to 10 hours.
Yeah.
And then I told like ChatGTP to like they have like a diagram plugin, and I was like, yo, diagram these out. So there's like a 20-page document with like all the rest of the levels already out.
Nice.
And so then after I had that, I was like, all right, now I kind of have a better understanding of like how I'm going to approach the next few levels.
Sure.
So yeah.
How before we wrap up,
This is boring shit, you know.
you've
Write
had-
things out on paper, draw
Yeah.
them out 2D.
yeah. You're not a
prototype.
you're not a rock star, man. Yeah. Before
Some
we
very
wrap up, I did
worksmanlike
want to
quality.
ask you this because you had that dream idea of that horror game. I don't want to call it a game, but that horror experience.
I showed you
with
like a
low-poly
little vertical slice. Yeah.
And you asked me to write up a scenario for it.
Yeah.
Did you still need me to do that, or are you just moved on because you're working on this?
I just moved on. I feel like because I've been working, dude. I've been doing stuff. The idea's still in the back of my head, and I've been marking assets on like the Unreal Engine store for like ideas and stuff. And like I don't know, like they have like a horror engine on Unreal that's free.
Yeah.
And it seems like that's what everybody uses.
I know.
They
I
put
don't like that
garbage with it, and I'm like, oh, this is like every fucking almost free to play or Steam like $3.99 game out there is like using this. So I was like, damn.
Yeah. I don't think it's a bad engine, but I think when people are using it, and it just annoys me.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, I'm still willing to do a write up for you for that. Just kind of scenario thing. But I was thinking about it too, because I really liked how it looked. It's a decidedly low poly horror experience, very dreamlike thing that I haven't seen before, and I think that
I'm telling you, it's a vibe, bro.
Yeah, it really was.
I was just like, damn, this is. I don't know. It's like you see certain pieces of media that like inspire you, and it's a very like just from the stills, you're like, damn, this is inspiring me enough to like sit down and like quickly like do like a little like walkthrough of like what this could like a proof of concept type of thing. Yeah, you know, like it looks good in a still, but like what about moving through it? Like what does it actually play like? You know, it's taking the concept art and I
thought of an idea to contain it as well as maybe we keep it in like an apartment building, you know, so you can have different floors but you can just make the different floors as expansive as you want since it's like kind of a dreamlike state. That was the thought, but okay, all right, no,
it's only you know, opportunity, dude. Like I said, like for this 2.5D beat 'em up game, that's August, and I'm already like halfway done with that. And then the alphabet stuff, I'm already almost halfway through the alphabet. So like in like I was thinking like by April or something, I was probably going to start like another personal project. Start my own, and like that's only because I think there's usually like a summer sale for like Unreal.
There is, yeah.
Maybe I'll pick up like. Kind of like what I'm doing with like the interactions template that I got for free. I was like, maybe I'll just find something that is like a cool game that I can just build levels for. Because like I said, all I'm really interested in right now is just building levels at this point. Sure. I don't really care about like story or art or anything else. I'm just like, I just want to make cool shit to move around with, like little interactive museum pieces, dude. Okay. I'm basically an old man playing with like a train set, dude. I'm like, I just want to build model train sets.
It's fair, brother. That's fair.
Yeah.
So let me wrap up this episode, dude. I'm glad you're continuing on, and I'm happy. Like I said, man, it inspires me to keep going too. So it's always
it's hard to find groups of people too, man. It's I said, I had to go through like days of like people and interviews and talking with people just to find like a team of people you mesh with too, where it's like we all understand it's like a hobby and something for enjoyment. You know.
Yep.
I don't know, it's tough, dude. It's not easy. I think like everyone's just like game jams and stuff, but like it's also like it's almost like the most toxic way to get a team, in my opinion. Like because like
time constraints.
It's time constraints. So like you get really annoyed. Like you expect things to be available to do other things. Everything gets hung up on like there's linchpins to game development. Like you're asking about like you know enemies and stuff, and I'm like, I don't know. I wrote up like some vague ideas of what I think the enemies could be. I wrote it down into like a 2D space, put that in a document. That's it. And then I just placed like a red block. Like those are the enemies for me. The enemies like other people doing their part. You know, it takes months sometimes for those systems.
That's game creation, man. That's all it is.
Yeah. Things take time, dude. Yeah, and it's more than like 48 hours in a game jam.
Hell yeah! All right, dude.
Yeah. Well, all right, man.
GG's. Good to hear the updates.
GG.
Everybody, we'll see you all next week on the Combo Wombo podcast. Like, share, subscribe, you bitch. Later.
We out. Peace.